Okay, so thank you so much, everyone. My name is Jennifer Foman. I am the account executive that works with Los Angeles Community College District. And as Katrelia said, we have recently gone through a transition. We used to be called Cigna, and now we are New York Life Group Benefit Solutions. And we want to thank you for this opportunity to be here with you today virtually. We have been providing your benefits since 2014. So we thank you for that continued commitment. We appreciate the opportunity to continue to provide benefits to you. And so what we do here at New York Life is we provide your life insurance as well as your accidental death and dismemberment. And we just want to talk to you today about the benefits. Typically, I know most people don't like to think about life insurance, but given the situation with the pandemic, it certainly has given people an opportunity to revisit their benefits and think about the value of their benefits. And so we're very confident that we will find that these benefits are very beneficial for you. So my focus is to talk to you today about the benefit, not so much to talk about the presentation, but what we want to help you understand is the value and the importance of group life insurance. One of the benefits is that you're getting it through your employer, and your employer provides you a basic benefit of $50,000, but you also have the opportunity to elect additional coverage. And with the life insurance is really for the people that you leave behind. It's for your family, people that are going to be left behind when you're no longer around. And I know that people don't like to think about this, but we do like to talk about it. And we do want you to take this into consideration. Again, because of the pandemic, people have reevaluated their benefits. And so the plan is life insurance is a plan that provides financial support for you and your family members if you were to pass away. It includes helpful resources to assist you before, during, and after a situation resulting in a death. And the employee and employer and employee plans are set up where it's easy for you to make the election because your employer is going to do pretty much most of the work for you. They're going to manage the administration of the plan. And you also have the opportunity, if you leave the community college district, you can take the plan with you. So it's a very flexible plan. You select the amount that works best for you. And, if you have to make adjustments in terms of the level of coverage that you do elect, maybe because your situation may have changed, you can certainly do that during your annual enrollment period. And so it's a pretty simple process, but again, the reason that we wanted to offer what's called an open enrollment this year is we considered the pandemic situation, and we understand that a lot of people didn't really understand how the benefits work and the benefit of electing life insurance. And so that's why we are going to provide this year, we're going to offer what's called an open enrollment. And what that means is it's sort of like when we first rolled out the program back in 2014. And what that means is that you as an employee, you fit the class description, you're an active full-time employee of the employer working 20 hours per week, you have the opportunity to elect this coverage. We do exclude employees classified as temporary and seasonal. So again, as I mentioned, you get a basic life insurance benefit from your employer. You get the $50,000, and that's a great start. And we applaud LACCD for providing you with that benefit. But then you also have the opportunity to elect additional coverage for yourself and your spouse and children. If you elect coverage for yourself, you can elect coverage for your dependents. So you as the employee, you can elect life insurance, the voluntary life insurance, which means you're going to pay for it. It's going to be in units of $10,000. We are offering you the guaranteed issue amount this year, which means that you can elect 5 times your salary, not to exceed $120,000. The maximum that you can elect is 5 times your salary, not to exceed $500,000. So what does that mean to you? So say, for example, you've been an employee with LACCD for years and you did not elect the voluntary term life insurance coverage when you had the opportunity to first elect it. What that means is we offer what's called the guaranteed issue amount. And so you, if you would have elected the coverage when you first had the opportunity to, you would see this bar column to the right where it says guaranteed issue. That means that you can elect up to 5 times your salary or $120,000 without having to answer any medical questions. That's huge. We're giving you the opportunity, because we're offering an open enrollment this year, to elect the coverage as though we're offering it the first time. So again, you as the employee, you have the opportunity to elect life insurance coverage up to $120,000 without having to answer any medical questions. So if you know that you have a personal medical situation, you're dealing with something, and you haven't elected the coverage, this is your invitation this year to elect the coverage, get up to the $120,000, no medical questions answered. So in addition to yourself, you can elect coverage for your spouse, as I mentioned. Again, the benefit is in $5,000 increments for your spouse. The maximum is $250,000, which is 50% of what you as the employee are eligible for. And then the guaranteed issue amount for the spouse is the $50,000. And then for the child benefit is in increments of 1,000, and you can elect up to $10,000. Now, children never require medical underwriting. So the real benefit is for someone, as I mentioned, that had the opportunity to enroll previously, but did not. You're considered what we consider a late entrant now. And what that would typically mean is any amount of coverage that you elect, you would be subject to providing New York Life with insurance of evidence of insurability, We would evaluate your application. We would look at your medical history, the way you answer those questions, and then we'll evaluate if we're going to take you on that additional risk that you're asking us to look at. So again, this year, because we are offering an open enrollment, you do not have to provide evidence of insurability up to the guaranteed issue amount. So let me just explain this a little bit further, because you see I'm spending a little more time on this screen because this is really important and I want you to understand the concept of the open enrollment. Say, for example, you as the employee, you want to elect $200,000. You certainly have the opportunity to do that this year. What that means is if you're a late entrant and this is your first time enrolling, this year we're going to automatically guarantee you the $120,000. And then the additional amount to get you up to the $200,000, the $80,000 would require evidence of insurability. So you would provide us with the evidence of insurability form, answer the medical questions, we'll evaluate that, and then we'll let you know if we're going to take you on for that additional risk. So here again, I want to emphasize that if you're not currently enrolled in this program and you know you have medical situation, health concerns, now would be the time for you to definitely join the plan, at least up to the guaranteed issue amount. Now, you're welcome to, of course, elect coverage beyond the guaranteed issue amount, but certainly want you to be aware of that. Now, I also talked about, when I first started, I said we provide your accidental death and dismemberment insurance. So we're going to talk about that now. And so what is accidental death and dismemberment? It provides protection when you have an unforeseen accident that causes a fatal or dismembering event. So say you get into a major car accident. It's a fatal accident. You have paralysis. You lose some limbs. You lose your eyesight. These are morbid things to talk about and think about. But again, we want you to be aware how this benefit works and what the purpose of it is. And how it works is you enroll at the same time for your basic and term life insurance. The funds are available to your beneficiary once you submit a claim and we approve the claim, then we pay that out. There's no medical evidence necessary to obtain this coverage. So as I was talking about the life insurance, you heard me talk about the evidence of insurability where you had to answer some medical questions. No medical questions involved with regard to the accidental death and dismemberment. There is no medical underwriting that is required. Now, the examples of provisions included, we will pay an additional benefit if you're in an auto accident and you happen to have your seatbelt on, or if the airbag explodes. So there are some additional provisions within the accidental death and dismemberment policy that we will pay benefits on. We will also pay, I'm not going to go through the whole list, but we'll even pay for child care. If you're disabled, dismembered, you've got to go back and be retrained. We can help you pay for child care while you go back to get your education or be rehabilitated. So again, there are some special provisions that come along within the ADA, and that's how we refer to it, the AD&D insurance, the accidental death and dismemberment plan. And so the accidental death and dismemberment, the AD&D, it has the same class description as the basic life insurance did. All active full-time employees working 20 hours, excluding those that are classified as temporary and seasonal. The benefit pretty much mirrors the voluntary AD&D plan. So typically most people like to elect the voluntary life, and they also like to elect the voluntary AD&D term insurance at the same time. Okay. Now I want to talk to you about our value-added programs, and these are programs that come along automatically with the life insurance and the AD&D coverage that we provide. We have what's called our value-added programs and services, and it's our life assistance program. It provides you and your family support for work and life concerns. We can also refer you to legal and financial consultants. You can get support via telephonic, 24 hours, 7 days a week. If your issue is really, involved and you need to see a counselor, you can see a counselor up to 3 times per incident. So say if, as we've been going through this pandemic, people have been really having some issues, and you may have 2 issues this year, you would be entitled to see a counselor for up to 3 times per incident. So again, as I said, if you had 2 incidents this year, you could see a counselor, 3 times, first counselor for 3 sessions, and then for your second session or your second incident, you're still entitled to see a counselor face-to-face up to 3 times per year. And then there's also online resources. One of the things you might want to find out, you have aging parents and you want to find out if there are resources in your neighborhood for adult daycare. This life assistance program is there to assist you with those types of inquiries. And again, I just want to emphasize that the life assistance program is totally confidential. So if you were to call and talk to one of the counselors, any information that you speak about or share is totally confidential. It never gets back to your employer or anyone else. Now, we also provide what's called My Secure Advantage. It's the 30 days of prepaid expert money coaching for all types of financial and planning challenges. It can help you with identity theft, fraud resolution services. Here's a big one, the will preparation tools and resources. We certainly encourage you to take advantage of that. If you don't do anything else, it's very beneficial. If you don't have a will in place, you can utilize this service to create your will. You have 30 days to start the process, to get it done, and then you take it to a notary, get it notarized, and it becomes a legally binding document. So again, the My Secure Advantage is there to assist you with financial resources, and when you're having financial challenges, and then if you also need to set up things like a power of attorney, both financial and for medical reasons. We have the forms that are out there on the website that you can utilize. So that's another good service that you are eligible for, and there's no cost associated with it at all. And then we also have our secure travel program. And what this program is, it's not a travel agency. What it is it helps you when you are traveling. As long as you're traveling more than 100 miles away from home, you can utilize this service. And it's whether it's on business or on pleasure. Say you're traveling and you lose your passport or you lose your medicine. This service will assist you with getting assistance while you're traveling when you have unexpected things happening. So, unfortunately, if you're traveling and somebody in the family gets sick and you need to get some medical assistance for that person and they need to be checked into a hospital, again, this service is there to help you. We can also return trip for travel companions. So say, for example, somebody in the family gets sick and they need to leave them behind there. We can make the arrangements to bring the rest of the family back. So again, it's a service to help you for unexpected challenges when you're traveling. And again, you can use this service as long as you're traveling more than 100 miles away from home. So I just wanted to reiterate that you need to make your elections by September the, no, that's not when you need to make your elections by, that's when they're starting. And what we suggest that you do is print and return your enrollment form to the Human Resources Department, keep a copy for yourself. And if you have any questions, I am certainly going to be available in the breakout sessions and I would love to interact with you. So thank you for your time today, appreciate it.
Okay, Jennifer, it's the Human Resources, it's not the one that receives those forms. It'll be the Health Benefits Unit. You can send it through courier for them, and they will make sure to match up your elections when the portal opens for open enrollment on Monday, the 27th. All elections have to be made by October 15th. That's when everything shuts down.
Including us today. My name is Drew. I'm the local market director with VSP, and I'm going to be your guide for the next 10 minutes or so. Going to run through your vision benefits, talk through some highlights, and really hopefully leave everybody with something new to take into 2022. And as Katrina noted, LACCD really does provide a great vision benefit that everybody should be taking full advantage of, especially in this digital age we're all living in. So I always like to kind of start off just by asking that question, what's the value in being enrolled in VSP, and moreover, why use your vision benefits? And it really does kind of go without saying that our eyes are important, but a routine eye exam is also really a critical component of our overall health and maintenance of that health. Kind of hammering this home, LACCD, again, tremendous vision benefit that's available to everyone. So make sure that you are staying and being enrolled, using it, making sure that your family's going in for that annual eye exam. And again, with the great benefits that LACCD does provide, your out-of-pocket's guaranteed to be very, very low. So please take advantage, and let's take a closer look here. So VSP, your well-being is absolutely at the center of everything that we do as an organization. You're going to get a convenient access to that personalized care that you need with the savings that you can rely on. And we've all obviously deferred care over the last 18 months, and any form of health maintenance that we may have put off. A routine eye exam is one of the best opportunities to go into that situation, to have a healthcare conversation, to have a doctor, look at your blood vessels, really give you an overall gauge of your health. And again, non-invasive, so really a tremendous opportunity for us to kind of work our way back into, I hate using the word new normal, but the world that we're living in today. And again, as I mentioned, vision care, it's so much more than just seeing clearly. Even if you do have 20/20 vision, it's important to get an eye exam every year. And you may wonder, what's so important about an eye exam, or why is a vision exam an important component in preventative care? As I mentioned, it's the only non-invasive opportunity for a doctor to have an unobstructed view of your blood vessels. And that's really, really important. And this allows eye doctors to detect signs of chronic conditions like diabetes, diabetic retinopathy, high cholesterol, and even hypertension. And an eye exam, it can reveal all these health conditions, even if you're not expressing any symptoms. So if you feeling super healthy, you're going in just for your annual eye exam, and the doctor can really see a lot of great data and information just in that couple of quick moments there. So really, really important. A couple of kind of shocking facts, actually. So 34% of the time, VSP provider is the first to detect signs of diabetes or prediabetes. 39% of the time, they're the first to identify signs of hypertension, and 62% of the time first identify symptoms of high cholesterol. So really, really important that, we all may feel great and healthy, but it really is important to take advantage of that great benefit that we do have access to, or that you all have access to. And I didn't mean to scare anyone, but just wanted to really kind of drive home that routine eye care and making sure that you are going in for that annual eye exam. It goes beyond 2020. It goes beyond, I can see well, everything's clear. It really is an opportunity to kind of gauge your overall health. So let's look at the specs. No copay at all for your routine eye exam and for your base material. So that's tremendous. You're not paying anything to go in and use your benefit. Your exam and lenses are available every calendar year, and your frame is available every other calendar year for you. Got a very, very generous $200 frame allowance and $200 contact lens allowance. And also members do get an extra $20 towards their frame allowance when they select one of our featured frame brands. So anything like Nike, Calvin Klein, Lacoste, Ferragamo, MCM, there's a myriad of different brands. Lots of information available online. I'm going to spend a little bit of time a little bit later in the presentation going over some of the extra savings available to folks. Many lens enhancements are covered in full, most notably anti-glare, anti-reflective. That's that blue light filtering lens could not be any more important now in this digital age. UV is also covered in full, and standard progressive lenses, that no line multifocal, those are covered in full as well. All other lens enhancements do have cap costs, averaging about 30% off in total savings. So a really, really strong benefit. And again, providers are absolutely talking about anti-glare coatings right now because we are all forced to be staring at screens all day and every day. And, you know, I'm sure everyone's kind of seen that bluish hue on glasses, and that's actually, if you're looking at the UV spectrum, the blue light, that's actually light that is being reflected off of the lens and not going into somebody's eye. And kind of leading to, you know, those headaches that we've all probably experienced, that digital and chronic soreness that we're getting after prolonged periods in front of the screen. So really important that we're protecting our eyes. And again, that's covered in full under your VSP benefit. For those folks that are in contacts, you do have a very generous $200 allowance there, and do have a cap copay of no more than $40 for that contact fitting and evaluation. And what's more, you know, members now also, starting last year, or I guess this year, had access to an additional pair of frames. So we did add a computer vision care benefit. So again, this is separate from that full service pair. And what this computer vision care plan does is, you know, that the doctor is basically prescribing the right script for you for how far away you're sitting from your computer screen. So just making sure and really kind of doubling down on the protection as we've all shifted into this kind of virtual reality. So really, really important to take advantage of that again. So you do have access to 2 pairs of glasses every other calendar year. So really you could get a pair of glasses every year. And then lastly, if you did not want your eyes dilated, that digital retinal scan is available. And we do have a cap cost of no more than $39. So you'll never pay any more than that if you do not wish to dilate your eyes. And the retinal scan is actually really cool. You know, it takes just a quick second, and it's really nice for your doctor to have that kind of year over year image. So again, you can see all of your blood vessels. It's a little weird, but it's also really, really cool and a great way for your doctor to kind of track and gauge your overall health. So wanted to slip over to this slide again, and you know, because the computer vision care plan is fairly new, just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that they had access to it. You know, I think everybody could benefit from having an extra pair of computer glasses. So here's kind of what's covered under that. It does include an additional exam. That exam is administered typically if you're going in for your regular exam. That exam would be administered at the same time. Where that doctor is kind of asking you and kind of almost recreating your work setup. So making sure that script that they're putting in those lenses is really ideal and tailor fit into your workspace and how you use and how far you sit away from your screen, just to make sure that everything is working well and your eyes are not strained as you're staring at a screen all day, every day. So the frame allowance there, it's a little bit lower at $105. There is no copay on any of those materials as well. So, and again, that is covered, so that the lenses are covered every year for that benefit, and the frame is on an every other calendar year, just like that full service plan. One other piece I did want to pause and kind of touch on was essential medical eye care. So from the outset of the pandemic, VSP did provide access where really it was needed most, making sure that all of our members kind of had that outlet and option to go to their vision care provider for services, maybe a little bit more medical in nature. So if they had pink eye or sudden vision loss or something stuck in their eye, that really any service that their VSP provider could manage, we wanted to hopefully allow that person to stay away from the emergency room, stay out of the healthcare channel, and go to their VSP provider, where hopefully they're in a position to not be in touch with anything that's going on in our world. So that coverage that was kind of an initial response to the pandemic, well, as a health-focused organization, we thought it was the right thing to do to make this the new standard in kind of that supplemental medical eye exam. So what does that mean? So it's an additional exam. It can be used on an as needed basis. It's a $20 copay. And again, what it covers for diabetics, it's going to cover that retinal scan in full. So no out of pocket for that retinal scan. And again, if somebody does have pink eye or has a sty, or if something's in their eye or sudden vision loss, again, really anything that might typically have fallen a little bit more on the medical side, that's now covered through this essential medical eye care plan. So really, really great opportunity to kind of expand that coverage. Our doctors absolutely love it. And I think that it just gives our members kind of that nice continuity of care, right? So you're that same doctor that's giving you your annual eye exam. If you do have sudden vision loss or you do have something in your eye, that doctor is very keenly aware of kind of the history and what's going on. So great benefit. We're super excited that this is now going to become a mainstay for all of your vision care needs. So our commitment to you and your well-being, it extends into your financial wellness, obviously. Members do have access to exclusive member extras totaling about $3,000 in extra savings. So really great opportunity to expand that benefit to get even squeeze even more value out of your VSP benefits. So lots of great information online, discounts on contact lens brands, LASIK, diabetes care, even hearing aids. And again, as I mentioned, members do get an extra $20 towards their frame allowance. So there's a ton of detail and information online. We even pick a couple of frame brands each quarter where that extra 20 becomes actually an extra 40. So go out to VSP.com. There's signage all over the place about how to really maximize that benefit. And if you've never used VSP but are enrolled, it's easy, and it needs to be easy. Your plan is absolutely supposed to be something that's completely turnkey for you. There's no ID card at all. If you're trying to find a provider, again, if you've never gone in for an eye exam, our Find a Doctor tool is awesome. You can punch in if you have a doctor that you think that you know, or a doctor that you want to make sure is a network. You can search by doctor. You can search by your current location to find a doctor near you. And in our provider search, you can filter by the languages spoken. You can filter by the services that are available, even down to the frame brands that you're most interested in. So that really, really easy, intuitive tool. Highly recommend anyone. If you haven't gone out and you don't have a doctor, just check it out. It's super, super seamless and intuitive. And I really would be doing a disservice today if I didn't spend a minute just talking about iconic.com. So Iconic, it's the only online retail space, so online, that seamlessly connects your shopping experience to your in-network benefits. So you can use the great benefits that you have online. So if you have your prescription, I highly recommend integrating your benefits. It takes 30 seconds to do. You can virtually try on glasses, and you can, just the transparency and price and everything just updates automatically. So you've got a great view into what you're spending your money on, and really, more importantly, where you're saving your money. So again, I highly recommend checking that out. The virtual try-on tool is really cool. You do like a quick little video. turn your head around, and it's a really state-of-the-art piece of technology that we're super proud of. So go check it out, integrate your benefits. And again, if you have your prescription, it could not be any easier to use your benefit. And just to kind of close things out, our call center, if you do have any questions, or if you're confused about literally anything, we're here for you. If you want to call and speak to a real human, that's an option. If you want to self-serve, that's also an option. Vision should be seamless and easy. So we're absolutely here for you. And again, just to drive home, LACCD's got an incredible vision benefit that everyone should be using.
So hello, everyone. My name is Hunter Jackson. Petralia, thank you so much for that nice introduction earlier today. I am the account manager for MetLife, and I manage your DHMO dental plan. I am located in Irvine, California, so I'm fairly close to a lot of you, I'm sure. So today I'm going to take a little time to walk you through your MetLife DHMO insurance provided to you by LACCD. Having a dental plan that covers exams, x-rays, fillings, and such makes sense. This insurance helps you pay for dental work. It helps you with regular cleanings and exams, and may help prevent costly dental problems from occurring in the future. So how does the plan work? So through this plan, you will have access to a broad network of participating dentists and specialists who are carefully screened and credentialed. You will be asked to select a dentist from a directory of dentists who participate in the network in order to receive benefits. But each of your covered dependents, so your child or your spouse, can select different network dentists. All the services covered by the plan are included in the schedule of benefits, along with the copayment and coverage percentage. So you will know before your visit how much you will pay for any given service. Along with the copayment for the services provided, you may also be responsible for the office visit copay each time you do see your dentist. However, you will have no deductible or annual maximum. So you can use this plan as much as you want, and there is no cap to what you could use or save with this plan. Also included with the schedule of benefits is a list of exclusions and limitations, which include important information to help you understand exactly what is and what is not covered. So some of the highlights of this plan. This is a more comprehensive dental DHMO plan that is offered today. With this plan, you get essential dental benefits while helping to alleviate your out-of-pocket costs, because you are only responsible for the copayment amounts for each covered procedure. And there are over 340 covered procedures. The plan supports maintaining good oral health. For example, your coverage includes 4 cleanings a year if needed. 2 of those won't cost you anything. And if you need additional cleanings per year, you can get up to 2 more at a copayment amount, which I believe is $45, but don't quote me on that. This is 2 times the coverage of some other plans for an important preventative service that may help reduce your visits to the dentist by preventing those more expensive procedures from occurring in the future. Other covered services include cancer screenings, which are extremely important, adult and child orthodontia, general anesthesia, IV sedation, and nitrous oxide. Should you need to see a specialty care, your dentist will have to provide you with a direct referral. So what does that mean? When a specialty care is needed, so say like a periodontist, an oral surgeon, orthodontist, endodontist, your general dentist will provide you with the name of a network specialist who will provide your care. Just call that specialist that you're referred to and schedule an appointment. If there is a copay or covered percentage for the specialty service you are receiving, it will be listed on your schedule of benefits. And that amount applies whether the services are provided by your selected participating dentist or by the specialist who participates in the network. So let's discuss the schedule of benefits. There are 3 columns on the schedule of benefits: code, service, copayment, and covered percentage. The service column is the description of the dental procedure that is associated with the code. The copayment is the amount you pay for the treatment. The covered percentage is the percentage of the dentist contracted fee that is covered for the treatment. Another important part of the schedule of benefits is the exclusions and limitations. So limitations are just that. They kind of tell you how often you can receive a specific treatment, or if there are any additional charges for that treatment. And then exclusions just aren't covered by the plan at all. I didn't provide or have the schedule of benefits in this presentation because, as I mentioned earlier, there are hundreds of different procedures that are covered, but you should have access to your schedule of benefits, and you can go through and review it. And you will see on there that a lot of the procedures, especially preventative ones, have a $0 copay, so you don't pay anything for that that type of service. Others have a dollar amount associated with that type of coverage. So if you go to the dentist and you have to do like a crown, it will be listed in your schedule of benefits how much you will be responsible for that crown procedure. And again, before you go to the dentist and have any kind of work done, you can go through and know exactly the amount you're going to pay for the procedures that would be provided to you by the dentist. And then not only are we concerned about reducing your costs for dental care, we also want to help you and your family maintain good oral health, which, as I mentioned earlier, is believed to be associated with good overall health. That's why we think it's important to go beyond the planned coverage by providing you with helpful tools and resources to help you make better choices about your oral health and dental benefits. You can find more information by visiting the website on your screen, oralfitnesslibrary.com. It kind of goes through and just overviews and highlights the different ways dental is helpful for you to maintain good oral health. And then also, if you can also visit your My Benefits website by going to metlife.com/mybenefits.
Okay, let's get going then. Delta Dental is over your PPO plan, and you know that Hunter was just talking about your DHMO plan, and this is a little bit different than that, and I'll explain some of the differences. Okay, when you're on the PPO, you can see any dentist that you want as long as they're licensed. And if you visit a PPO dentist, someone who's contracted to the network, you will save the most out-of-pocket expense. So that's something to keep in mind. We'll mention it several times, you know, and I'll show you some examples of why that would save you the most. With a contracted PPO dentist, you will not be charged more than what your expected share of the bill is. Okay, this is a sample of your PPO benefit, and you'll see the categories of the maximum. So if you look at this column, wherever you fall as far as length of employment, your maximum dental benefit is straight across from that. Now this explains the percentages, and what you'll see is in diagnostic and preventive care, again, you get 4 cleanings a year and x-rays. Also, your preventive and diagnostic care is covered at 80% with a PPO dentist. And if you need basic services like fillings, sealants, root canals, any kind of gum treatment or oral surgery, those all fall under basic services. Those are all covered at 80%. If you need any kind of cast restorations, crowns, onlays, inlays, that's covered at 80% as well. If you need anything that's bigger than just a single crown or an onlay, it would go into prosthodontics, which would include dentures, any kind of bridge work, and implants, also covered at 80%. When we get into ortho, you have adult and dependent children ortho, and each person who is covered in your plan will receive $2,000 lifetime maximum, and we will cover that ortho benefit at 50% up to that $2,000 lifetime. So if you have a comprehensive treatment of $4,000, we will pay $2,000, and you would be responsible for paying the other $2,000 or however much is left. Now, if you're really trying to budget and figure out, you know, your out-of-pocket expenses, the first thing that you will want to do is ask your dentist for an estimate. And after they've done an exam, they usually have a treatment plan worked up, and they'll be happy to send all of those details to Delta, and we will figure everything out for you. And after we do that, you and your dentist will receive a cost estimate, and you usually get it before they get it. So you'll be well prepared to make that appointment and know how much it's going to cost you. Okay. I mentioned several times during my presentations that customer service is your best friend. So make a note of these numbers. And if you need to speak to a customer service representative, don't even hesitate. You can get a hold of them from 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time. And if you just have a simple routine question, you may be able to get an answer to that off of the automated phone system, which is available 24/7. If you want to ask a question online, Maybe you're not near a phone, or you don't feel like you want to sit on the phone, or whatever, you'd rather go online, you can do that. And you will just go to deltadentalins.com. And I usually say, remember the INS means I need something. And then you'll be able to contact us. And there's a customer service form that you can fill out and send over to customer service, and they'll answer your question for you. Okay, when you access our website, and again, that's deltadentalins.com, you'll be able to search for your dentist. And you'll also be able to get answers to questions about your dental plan. We have a couple of different areas off of that website. One of them is called Smileway Wellness Site. And it's full of all kinds of articles and recipes and videos all about oral health. And in addition to that, we have a quarterly magazine that we put out digitally called Grin. And that is a great magazine. That's a really, really wonderful resource. Okay, we're trying to go paperless. And so by using the website, you'll be able to view all your documents online, and any claims or pre-treatment estimates, and any information about your plans. So it's quite convenient. And so if you get any kind of communication from Delta Dental, it can go right into your account there, and you'll get a Gmail notification that there's a document waiting for you, and you'll be able to go and see what it is. It may be your pre-treatment estimate. It could be just about anything. If you've asked a question and you're looking for an answer and you get that email prompt, then I would go and look and see what's there. We consider that to be a lot more efficient than snail mail. And of course, we're all trying to save paper and reduce our footprint. So that's why that's pretty important. So you're going to log into your account at deltadentalins.com, click on My Profile, and select the online setting. Okay. Now, one thing about your PPO is that you have the advantage of having a dual network. You have your plan, which is one product, but you also have two different levels of savings. So you'll see that on the PPO network, an average discount is about 35% off of a usual and customary fee. We also have a second network called the Premier Network, and the dentists that are in the Premier Network are still contracted with Delta, but they're dentists that maybe were hesitant to discount their fees quite as low as the PPO network. And by giving them a little higher compensation, they were willing to sign and do some kind of discounting for us. And so it helps our network stay larger and helps us also keep the discount spread over a bigger area and a lot more dentists. So you've got the choice of either or. So if you're in the PPO network, you don't find the dentist that you want, or maybe you've been referred to a specific dentist and they're not on the PPO network, you can go to the Premier Network and see if they're on the Premier Network. And if they are, then you can use them from the Premier Network. Just keep in mind that you're going to pay a little more out of pocket if you're using the Premier Network, because remember, they get paid a little bit more. This is as kind of a sample of the difference between the Premier, the PPO, and if they're not contracted with us at all. So we're going to use a denture as an example. And let's say that the dentist charge for a denture is $1,200. Well, that dentist on the PPO has signed a contract with us that says I will never charge more than $700 to my Delta members. So we pay 50% of that denture, which means that our payment would be $350 towards that $700. Your part would be $350. So we each pay $350 up to that $700 amount. Now, if your dentist is on the Premier Network, you'll notice that we'll take the same denture of $1,200. And this dentist has a contract with us that says he's going to get $900 for a denture. We will cover that at 50%. So we will pay $450 and you will pay $450. So you can see the difference in your cost is about $100 between the PPO and the Premier Network. If the dentist's not contracted at all, we will still pay them, but we will pay them and the percentage that we've agreed to based on the Premier fee schedule. So we can't control their fees, their regular fees, because they haven't got a contract with us. But you'll see that, let's say they charge the $1,200 and we say, well, you're not in our network, so $900 is all we'll allow, and we'll pay 50% again. So we'll pay $450. But the difference is going to come out of your pocket. So you'll see that whatever the difference between $900 and $1,200 is going to get added back on, and you will have $750 coming out of your own pocket. So that's why we always stress that make sure you stay with the PPO, because that's going to be where you get your greatest cost savings. Premier is second, and then non-Delta dentist is third. Now, when you go onto our Delta Dental INS site, you will see on the main screen a little prompt that says find a dentist, and it's on the right-hand side. When you click on it, it'll take you to another screen that will have our networks listed, and we have 3. So we have our PPO network, we have our Premier network, and we also have a network called Delta Care USA, which is not part of your program. So you're going to click on the one that you want, and I would suggest starting with the PPO. You'll be able to look up your dentist by area, by zip code, by language, any kind of specialty. And next to each name that you're looking at, you'll find an icon that lets you go straight to their Yelp rating. So you will not have to get out of the website, go to Yelp, look them up. You can just click on that icon and it'll go right into Yelp and give you your ratings for the dentists. Okay, a couple of virtual tools that we've got. This is something brand new, and I find it pretty interesting. It's kind of along the lines of Teledoc, and one other thing is a little different than Teledoc. One's called Toothpick, which I thought was kind of an interesting name, and the other one is actually a virtual consultant. So you'll be able to get consultants from either of these 2 programs. And it's good for members that have busy schedules, or maybe you don't have a regular dentist, or you don't want to go to the dentist, but it's all safe and secure, HIPAA compliant, and it's available as a covered benefit for our members who have the PPO and the Premier plans. Toothpick is pretty interesting. It's actually a photo-based app, and you use it from your smartphone. And what you do is you have questions that you answer about your situation, and then you actually take your own picture of your own mouth. And you can send it, and within 24 hours, you'll get an answer from a licensed dentist, and they will be able to actually mark on your pictures, show you where they have areas that they're concerned about, and then they can help you get an appointment for an exam. And there's a lot of reasons why you might use that. Maybe if you really are afraid of the dentist, or you don't want to have to face someone online, or you don't have to. You can do it all like this through your smartphone. This is the virtual dental consult. Again, this is video based, and so you'll be able to actually see and talk to a Delta dentist remotely, schedule an appointment. If you have something like pain or a problem come up, an infection or something like that, you'll be able to get a hold of a Delta dentist, and they can even give you e-prescriptions. So they can take care of an urgent problem quite quickly. And so that's always a nice benefit. A couple of value-added things that we've got going on is we have an affiliation with a company called Amplifon Hearing Healthcare. And what they do is they actually are in the business of retail hearing aid. And they have agreed to work with Delta members and give them a 62% average savings off of any hearing aids that you or your family may need. Also, we have an affiliation with QualSight. And QualSight is just for LASIK surgery. And by using the QualSight doctors, you can save 40 to 50% off of your traditional LASIK. So those are 2 value-added things that we've got going in the healthcare side. We also have, if you download the app to your phone, which is, you can get it at Google Play or at the App Store for iPhone, you'll be able to estimate some of your work that needs to be done. They have an estimator on there. You'll also be able to compare the cost of the same procedure, maybe at a different dentist. And it will help you see how choosing an in-network dentist can help you save, or maybe even going to a different in-network dentist in a different area whose costs are a little lower than what yours are. So because the costs are different with every area of our network. And this is just a sample of how the cost estimator works. So it's got the little prompts, so you can follow the prompts and see how it works. So you'll be able to use it. Okay, another program we have is Brush Smart, and this is a new oral wellness program that we're putting out there. And you can ask for personalized solutions for any kind of oral wellness that you have a concern about. So if you're a high-risk patient, if you're a senior, children, you know, and they've mentioned manual toothbrush users. And I know that everyone's like, well, why would someone who uses a manual toothbrush user or was a user need a personalized solution? And it might be because if you're using a manual toothbrush, maybe you're not brushing quite well enough, or you're missing some areas or something like that. So this will help you with all your oral care. Also, they offer a discount. So if you are using a manual toothbrush and you're interested in going to a sonic toothbrush or some other type of toothbrush, you'll get a discount at the Brush Smart store. So that's something to remember. Okay, when you download that app on your smartphone that I was talking about, what it will allow you to do is it will allow you to check all your covered services, your level of benefits. If you have any claims outstanding that haven't been paid yet, you can go and look those up and see where they are in the process. You can view your ID card. And I know some people like to have that piece of paper in their hand, but we don't really use ID cards anymore. But if you have this on your phone, you can pull your ID card up. And also it has that cost estimator, so you can estimate the cost of your next procedure. The one thing they didn't list on here is it also has a musical timer. So if you are trying to get your children to brush for 2 minutes, the music will play for 2 minutes and they have to keep brushing while that music is going. And I said, forget the kids. I don't think I brush for 2 minutes. Okay, well, we're at the end of our presentation. I want to thank you for listening so patiently. And
thanks, Cecilia. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Mario Delancan. I'm with Schools Federal Credit Union. I'm the Vice President of Membership Development at the credit union. And think of me as a liaison between what the credit union can possibly do for you guys. Because honestly, without the LACCD and LAUSD community, this credit union wouldn't exist. So a little bit about us. We were founded back in 1939. We're not for profit. And what that basically means, each time the credit union generates income, we circulate it back to our field of membership, which again is LAUSD and LACCD, in the form of higher dividend rates, competitive products, lower loan rates. Basically, we're owned by you guys. So whatever you guys tell us to do, we try to accommodate that needs just as long as it's feasible, or just as long as it's beneficial to the entire field of membership. Again, any money that the credit union makes, we circulate it back to you guys with different programs. That's extremely competitive, if not the lowest possible pricing that you would end up paying on a, let's say, a loan product. Savings account. Here's a program that I'm extremely jealous over because I also don't qualify for it because I don't work for LACCD. Is a summer safeguard account. That's a savings account that you can set aside of up to $2,000 every month, and you get a yield of 3%. And the money becomes available for you to use on the first business day of July. So that way, since you guys are school employees, you guys tend to party harder during the summer months. That money becomes available for you to use. Any of the programs I'm talking about, if you go over to this microsite or this landing site for you guys at www.schoolsfcu.org/LACCD, that's the site for you to go to apply for any of the programs that I'm referring to today. And a lot of the misconception that a lot of people have with the credit union is that we don't have as many branches or as many ATMs as, let's say, the bigger guys. That's actually quite the opposite, because we have more ATMs than, let's say, the largest bank in the country. So we have more ATMs for you to use than, let's say, Chase. We have 5,000 service centers for you to go to, which are branches if you want to talk to a live teller. If you're still If you're still one of those people that tend to go inside a branch to do your day-to-day banking transactions, you have 5,000 branches for you to go to. Whereas with someone like me, I haven't really been into I haven't really been inside a branch other than me having to work, because I do everything from my phone or do everything online. So we've invested quite a bit on our online banking modules from our mobile and also online banking. We're constantly updating things so it's easier for you to access your account and also to apply for things. This one's a pretty cool offer. So as an LACCD employee, if you have an auto loan financed somewhere else, if you move that loan over, we'll reduce the interest rate by at least 2%. There is a floor rate. So on the PowerPoint, there's a typo there. The floor rate is at 2.19%. So if hypothetically, let's say, for instance, if you have a loan with Bank of America that you're paying 5% in on, if you move that loan over, we reduce it by 2%. So therefore, your new rate would be at 3%. But again, the floor rate is at 2.19%. And the cool thing about this is you get to skip your payments for the next 3 months. So you get to give yourself a little break by moving that loan over. And this rate of 2.19% also applies to new purchases of new and used vehicles. As we're all still, many of us are still working from home, we're all adapting to the new normal and working. If you do need to upgrade the devices you have at home, such as a computer, tablet, or whatever the case may be, you can borrow up to $2,500 with an interest rate of 1%, and you spread your payments out for 2 years, so that way the upgrade's a little bit more affordable for you guys. Everyone here is either a classified or a certificated employee. So we all know it costs money for you to prepare for like the new semester or even for you to do your job. If you're using the money to improve on how you're doing your job at work, you do qualify for the 0% loan. You could borrow up to $1,000 and you spread your payments out for 12 months. The funds could be used really for practically for anything. It could be used for clothes. It could be used to buy a new computer, whatever the case may be. It's at 0%. You spread your payments out for 12 months. It's really geared to provide the LACCD community employees with financial resources for you to buy things for the job. Credit cards. So this is a pretty cool rate. So if you have a credit card with a credit union, each time you swipe the card between now until December, which also includes balance transfers, the rate is at 1.99%, and you keep that rate until December 31st of 2022. So if you're preparing for the holiday season, and if you want to give yourself the flexibility, the card's awesome. So each time you use a card, you get it at 1.99%, and you get to keep that rate until December of next year. Now, if your household was adversely affected by COVID-19, the LACCD employees do qualify for what we refer to as an emergency loan. This is to where you could borrow up to $5,000. The interest rate's at 5%, and you spread your payments out for 5 years. And by spreading it out for 5 years, your payments would be affordable. I believe it's less than $100 a month for you to borrow up to $5,000. You spread your payments out for 5 years. And if you already have an existing loan with us or mortgage, and if your family was adversely affected by COVID, you do qualify for a 3-month deferral, and there are no processing fees towards that. Okay, and here's my contact information. So jot it down. Feel free to email me. You can also text me, and I'll reply back to emails and text messages. And let me show you guys the page you would go to. So this is the microsite for LACCD. So if you go to, again, www.schoolsfcu.org/LACCD, this takes you to this page, and this has all the information that I've just basically talked about, from the summer safeguard, the checking accounts that we have, the auto loan, the utility loan, technology loan. So feel free to visit this site, and this is the site that you would go to either apply for membership or apply for a loan.
So the additional benefit for the computer glasses, are those, and it's another one on top of the glasses we have, like regular glasses. If we have reading glasses, the computer glasses would be an additional. Is that how that works?
Correct. Yeah, it's going to be an additional pair of glasses.
Oh, that's perfect. Okay, you
Yeah.
know what? I have a great eye doctor, and everything got taken care of. He did cataract surgery on my eyes and so on, but I couldn't stand his ophthalmology group, you know, the one that they always have in addition. They were just, I don't know, it wasn't very good service. So do you guys have a listing of the can I go to another ophthalmologist? I mean, an optometrist issues the glasses, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so the
yes.
doctor is the ophthalmologist, sorry. So I had a
Mhm.
great doctor that took care of my cataracts and everything, but then the
office services were
optometrist, oh
Mhm.
gosh, they're so rude. It's just not
Oh my
even.
goodness.
Yeah, so do you have a separate entity for that? Is that that Vision Conics thing that you advertised?
Oh, so Iconic you're talking about Iconic, right? The
Yeah, yeah,
online
yeah.
retail
Uh-huh.
space. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking to just purchase and use the material part of your benefit, and if if the ophthalmologist that you like has obviously, he's managing your prescription, you can absolutely take that script and just upload it online if you prefer to keep everything, I guess, out of the optometrist lane and just kind of work directly with him and do your materials that way. That's totally a viable option. But I mean, if you're not having a good experience, and if this is something that you've experienced more than once, that there's a problem, I mean, that's something that we would want to know about. So I don't know if you'd be willing to shoot me an email, but I'd be more than happy to make sure that our provider team is making some outreach to at least make sure that the office knows that there have been some complaints. What I would recommend is, if you've got a prescription that works for you, I think Iconic is a perfectly reasonable avenue to go. And if you want to maybe just find a new office to work through.
And then this Vision benefit is good for Warby Parker?
It is not. So yeah, Warby Parker would be an out-of-network arrangement. So again, I mean, if you're looking to use your benefit online, I would highly encourage you to go through and use Iconic, because again, a lot of the covered lens options, like the anti-glare coating. Yeah, so no, I would just encourage you to stay in network to make sure that you're taking advantage of all of those covered options that you have.
Oh, because I was just wondering if you had a separate group for the doctors and a separate group for the optometrists. That's what I was hoping that you might have.
Yeah,
another
so our doctors are all, they run their own shop. Most of our doctors practice in more than one office. So the doctor that you love very well could also practice in a different office. So it might be worth asking him.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment that, you don't have to, you're not limited to only one office. You can go see, my ophthalmologist also has their own optometry office. I sometimes use them. I've also sometimes gotten my glasses from a VSP optometry office near the district office. That's, happens to be open late, so it was kind of convenient. So I've used them in the past. You don't have to use the same office to get the glasses filled. You can take the
Absolutely
not. To any other brick and mortar optometrist who's in network.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just to add on to that, Benjamin, every doctor, when you have your exam and they provide your prescription, they legally have to give that to you. You do not have to purchase materials at that office.
Okay, no, that's fine. I was just asking about the computer glasses. I got some this year, but the feature starts next year, correct? That's like a new added feature for VSP for the computer glasses.
No, that went into effect this year. So it was January of 2021. So if you purchase materials this year, you will be eligible again in 2023 for that.
Oh,
but again,
okay.
It's a second pair essentially. So you do have access to 2 different pairs of glasses each, I guess, every other calendar year.
Well, that's fabulous. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thank you. That was my only question.
Basically, I just want to ask you, yesterday, yesterday I went to do my vision exam, and I have to buy a pair of glasses. Mostly I am working in the computers, and I was watching the presentation that he made, and he was mentioning about the computer glasses. So basically I am new, so I don't know exactly how it works, all the benefits. But so far, yesterday, the lady who were attending me and the doctor, she told me that I have to bought the frames because I bought my glasses last year as well. So, but I didn't know about these computer glasses. So in that case, how can I do to use this the computer glasses, the amount that you have for the classes?
Yeah, just to make sure I'm understanding the question, so you've used your full service, your kind of regular pair of glasses, and you're trying to access the computer vision pair of glasses, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so those are and if you haven't purchased those, and I mean we can pull your claim file to see if there's an outstanding claim there, but you should be eligible to use them, assuming that you are enrolled. I would just caution to make sure again that you are at an in-network provider, just to make sure that you're maximizing that benefit. But if you haven't used it, then you should be eligible to use it, and the provider should be able to pull up that benefit for you.
So when I go to pick up my glasses, then I have to tell her that I have this amount of for the insurance.
Yep. Yeah. So you can tell her that you have access to, or within your benefits, you have access to an additional pair of computer glasses. And they should be able to pull that up, and they'll see that you are in fact eligible. But it's again, it's a different pair. So it can two different frequencies. So you can kind of use and purchase those to whatever strategy you need to. If you wanted to get, your kind of regular pair 1 year and then the computer pair the next year, so that way you're kind of continuing to get a pair of glasses every year. A lot of people use that strategy. So it's whatever makes sense to you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Drew, before we take the next one, I have a question. Do you know anything about OptoMap?
Yeah, so OptoMap is the retinal scan. So that's the image that the doctors have taken of your eyes. So most offices do have the OptoMap. I mean, it's a brand, right? It's like a Kleenex is a facial tissue. So it's the retinal scan technology. So yeah, so we do have a cap copay of no more than $39 for that, and whether it's OptoMap or any other retinal scan, that copay is about the same.
Where do I go to apply for the benefits at?
Okay, so yes, there was an email that went out from the Human Resources on yesterday.
Okay.
The SAP portal was to open enrollment as of Monday due to severe and limiting staffing issues in the health benefits unit.
Okay.
It will not open until next Monday, and it'll have the open enrollment information. The rates will be in there. All of that will be there. To apply for the life insurance, you can do all of that right in there. And so just be aware that it is delayed a week, but it will still close on October 15th, okay?
All right, and this includes dental and vision as well?
Yes, it will.
Okay, all right, cool. Thank
Everything
you,
will be included except for the FSA program that we went over. We had that fair on Friday, and they may be including a link to go to the ASI Flex, who is our new administrator for the HRA and FSA program.
The question is for Drew Wilson about BSP. Okay, I had my eyeglasses June 29. Okay, and the lady said for my regular glasses, I'll be eligible in August. And I have having headache in the afternoon, so I would like to have my eyeglasses in June. But they said as retiree, I'm already active in the record, so they charge it to as a retiree. But out of a certain amount, BSP only have $95. So is it the same as a retiree, all the benefits?
So just to make sure I'm understanding, so your frame allowance was only $95? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it sounds like you're at an out-of-network provider. So do you know where you were or the name of the office?
It's the Rosemead optometry.
So let's do a quick little search here.
Hi, yes, I have 2 questions.
Okay.
Can the VSP be used with online eyeglass providers like Zenni Optical?
So hi Marie, it's Drew.
Hi.
So the online in-network option that you have available to is Iconic. It's EYECONIC.com. Zenni Optical, Warby Parker, Lens Crafters, those are all out of network providers online.
Okay, so just Iconic.
Yep, that's correct. Or
And
yeah.
then my other question is, I have Kaiser, so I often, go to a Kaiser office. Is that in network?
It entirely depends. So I would recommend if you've got your doctor's name or contact information, I would go to the VSP.com website and the Find a Doctor tool. You can confirm that. And on that note, the Rosemead Optometry it is an in-network provider. So I'm not clear on where or why they would be telling you have a $95 allowance. Your frame allowance is $200.
Oh my goodness. And I use my HRA card for that for the rest of the month.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, I would call VSP and we can pull the claim and we can see what they charge, what was billed, and we can make sure that that's corrected for you. But I've got it right in front of me. And Rosemead Optometry is a network.
Okay, so I'm supposed to get the $200.
Correct. Yeah. So so again, you've got 2 different frame allowances. So your kind of standard pair, it's a $200 frame allowance, and then for your computer vision pair of glasses, it's $105.
Yeah, I already got my computer eyeglasses, which is charged to the regular one, not as a retiree.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I will just go to the BSP website.
To be at this point, since you've already paid for it, I would call and see if you can't talk to somebody to hopefully get that corrected for you. It sounds like there may have been a breakdown in communication at the doctor's office, is what it's sounding like to me.
Okay, thank you so much, Drew.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm gonna send or put the phone number, the 800 number in the chat for you and send you a direct message.
So I had a question about the VSP. Does it starts January 1st?
For this open enrollment, yes.
Okay, and is it the same where they're gonna instead of us sending a payment in every month, now it's going to come out of our paycheck?
Are you an adjunct faculty member, Nedra?
Adjunct, yeah.
Okay, that's the big difference. Okay, so
25 years. So
yes, okay. So what will happen? Yeah, I think I believe that we have the ASI Flex administrator will be taking on administering the POP program and making sure you get everything you need.
okay, and that's the POP program?
Premium only plan is with the POP. We call it the POP because it really pops us. Is the plan that is actually you have to qualify as an adjunct faculty, and the district pays a portion of your premiums and you pay the rest.
I see.
Okay, so VSP,
So
I don't believe there's a rate increase at all. It's just that people don't know about all of the services available to them when they sign up for the program.
right.
Yeah,
Like the retinol.
exactly.
Is it retinol? The
Retinol,
the retinol exam,
Yeah.
because I think that's really expensive.
Oh, yeah. And a lot of this stuff is included in our package as covered.
So
with the
they'll
district.
cover that for adjuncts?
If you purchasing the plan, of course, it's the same benefits as what the rest of the district is enjoying.
Okay, thank you so much. I know it's late. Thanks.
Sure, no problem.
Yes, Katrina. I have, my question is easy. Maybe you already answered, but I didn't, hear this question answer. If we don't have any changes in dental and VSP, do we still need to do something in the portal?
No, you do need to go into the portal for sure, and make sure that all of your information is correct, okay? We ask you all to do that every year because we find out that communications don't get to you, and the problem was that you didn't check your benefit statement to make sure that your beneficiaries were right, or that you had included a beneficiary for your life insurance. And so these are the sort of things that every year you need to make sure you have everything up to date. It's very, very critical.
Okay, thanks.
Hi, Katrina, but we don't have access to portal. How
It will be accessible, as I've explained several times, but I'm gonna repeat it because I want you all to hear this. It's
No,
delayed.
we're
But
retired.
on the 27th, Monday at 8 a.m., that portal will be open.
For retired person also?
What's that?
If we are retired, do I have access?
The
Retired person?
retired that I just got an email, it has come up in the Board of Trustees meeting. You'll be getting some information as to access for that. I don't have any control over that. So that's a health benefits situation, but expect something in the emails and also to your labor union emeritus chapter with that information.
Yeah, my question, because I'm retired, and do I need to do anything if I'm not changing anything?
Well, you definitely need to make sure you check out the September 28th retiree meeting to find out the changes of the medical plans, especially with Anthem.
Thank you, but my question was about dental and VSP.
The VSP, they're not changing.
So if I'm retired, I don't want to change anything, so I'm not touching anything there.
You got it, Susanna.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Hi, sorry, I was muted. My spouse also has VSP coverage with my coverage.
Are you adjunct or full-time?
I'm full-time.
Yeah, of course. If you elected is yourself and plus spouse.
Yes.
Or plus one, yes, they have the same coverage.
So, and same amounts and 2 pairs.
Yes.
Great.
Hey, Catrilia, correction on that.
What's that? What's the correction?
The computer vision pair is just for the subscriber.
The computer vision is different. That's true, because you have to be employed working on all these computers and doing these Zoom calls.
Right.
But I use mine every year.
Thanks.
All right.
So the medical, that's going to be next week.
Yes.
Oh, okay, because we still have a chance to switch from, say, what is this one? PERS Select to PERS Premium or something.
Okay, so I don't want to get into all of that with you because the experts are going to be here on the 28th to discuss it.
Okay.
And they have the best information on how it's going to work. Okay. I will let you know that if you're paying out of pocket and you choose an HMO, across the board for CalPERS, there's a 10% increase in HMO premiums. So you want to, across the board for all of the HMO programs offered to the district through CalPERS medical plans, there's a 10% increase. So you need to be in one of those meetings on the 28th so that you can get the best information. If you cannot, it will be recorded, as well as there will be additional meetings in October.
Right. Okay.
Before open enrollment closes. Okay.
Okay. So, and today was just the preview for vision and dental.
Yes, the non-medical plans. You may still be able to talk to them one-on-one.
Thank you, Katrina.
Thank you.
Thanks, Katrina, for everything.
Okay. All right, everybody.
Take care.
Have a great evening.
You too. You too. Thank you.
Thank you, Katrina.
Thank you, my dear.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Petralia.
All right.